Hello everybody, welcome to Coding with Jackie. And when I say coding today, we're going to do something very special called vibe coding. If you've never heard of vibe coding, it's essentially coding with AI. Usually AI does most of the job. There has been a lot of different definitions for vibe coding, and this specific video we're talking about the AI doing most of the work, but sometimes vibe coding can be an engineer that just uses AI as a tool.
If you're watching in 2025, according to Google Cloud, vibe coding is an emerging software development practice that uses artificial intelligence, AI, to generate functional code from natural language prompts, accelerating development and making app building more accessible, especially for those with limited programming experience. The term was coined by AI researcher Andre Karpathy in early 2025, describes a workflow where the primary role shifts from writing code line by line to guiding an AI to generate and debug an application through a more conversational process. The main purpose is essentially AI handles writing the actual code. Right, today we're going to be using a lot of different AI tools. As you can see here, I created a little diagram using AI. So we're going to be using OpenAI, Figma Main, Claude Code, and of course, at least my favorite, Cursor. And with them, we're going to be creating voice to slide generator, which you can see here. I open up Cursor. We're going to start off with Figma. So the projects started because I was part of this Buildathon through Deep Learning. I'm just going to shout out to them, not sponsored by them. So they provided us projects on what to create for the Buildathon, and this was one of them, which I'm very proud to at least have completed one of like the 5 tasks they provided. We're going to say transform my 3-minute audio into a slide deck. Now let's click on the purple arrow on the right hand side. Alright, and here we see the first iteration of our Figma make. As you can see, it is a little bit on the plain side, so let's just fix it up a bit. But on the left hand side, just notice what it has kind of like recorded. That's the Figma make, and over here we're gonna create a different prompt, still using, building upon the one we have right now. We're giving it more instructions to build a more sleek design. It's basically created a very unique UI, basically interface, which is what hopefully we'll be able to be using. So this is kind of like a updated one. I'm actually really loving how this looks like. All right, so now we are going to be going into our terminal. So that way we can essentially create just gonna create like a little folder for our project. Okay, sweet. We got a folder here. actually want to use cursor for this. Cursor, for those that have heard of cursor before, welcome. This is gonna be your new favorite IDE. Basically the platform where you're going to. So we want to go to desktop. Here we go. Because we want to start from scratch. We want it to be super new. We want to. Okay. So a lot of people are going to be wondering, okay, how am I going to start my creation without knowing any code? So over here in the new chat, this is going to be your new best friend. I will be prompting here what I want to build. So here, I kind of have written down a sort of little prompt. Put it here. This is just to start us out, right? We will work on this so it can be better. And we're going to say here, hey, you are a senior software engineer and you are building a voices slide generator. And then over here, obviously, it's going to be the description. Generate is polished slide deck from a 3-minute spoken prompt. So now here is where we're actually going to be using Figma. So we're going to go back to Figma. And you see here the beauty of it, how beautiful it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a screenshot of this, right? We're going to, let's put it here. We're going to take a screenshot of this. And we're going to put it in here, right? We're going to put that screenshot in here. And over here, you can kind of see where the image is. And you're going to be like, why are we going to put that there? Because we want cursor to see the final product. And it's might not be super necessary, but I do realize that the more information you give it, the better it is. And then to top it all off, over here, so this is some code that Figma created, right? Let's just copy and paste this just to give cursor as much information as possible. So over here, I'm actually going to be like, okay, there is some additional to assist in the build. And I'm gonna okay, so it's working right now. I'm gonna give him the information just in case. Okay, cool. So it has all the information needed. It's doing its job. It's creating the whole package for you. And the reason why I'm doing it on Cursor is because Cursor is really good at building things fast. However, where it does lag is in the architecture sometimes, but that is where we will be working with Claude Code. You'll see how. So yeah, let's just let it work. I will also be implementing the AI part by, while it's working, there's another homework we gotta do. We have to, because remember, this is gonna be AI generated. So we're gonna have to go to an OpenAI platform where we are going to get something very special called the API keys. And the API keys, essentially what it does
is that it's going to communicate with open AI powers basically. Um, so then here, this is the OpenAI developer platform. And here we are going to find the API keys. So as you can see, I've made a lot of API keys before, and we're going to create a new one here. Let's see how our, let's see. Okay, so .env. So what is .env? .env is basically where we're going to paste the secret keys when it works, because I think I might, oh, there it is. It's just a little slow because it's working. So yeah, just let it work. I think it's just angry at me because I'm not letting it work. Okay, let's go back to, and then here we're gonna call it YouTube AI tutorial. So that way I know it's going to be used for, and I'm going to click create secret key. So I'm going to stop it right now because I do not want you to see this. My secret key is important for me. And this is a very huge disclaimer for anyone creating secret key. This is kind of like your password to your development. So you do not want anyone to see these keys, all right? So when you do this, just know this is secret. Don't show it to other people. It has created its own readme file. Don't forget to put your API keys here in this folder in the .env file here. All right. It says here run npm install. All right, let's run. And like I said, right now we're vibe coding. Okay, so obviously if you're a real software engineer, please check the code. Right now I'm just kind of like hardcore, just vibe coding here, letting the AI just kind of like, instead of Jesus takes the wheel, right now AI is taking the wheel here. Okay, we just want to see how far we can go. In case if you want to just create like a prototype, this is what I'm imagining this will be used for, kind of like a prototype. If you're maybe like a project manager or something and you just want to create something fast, let's see if it's even possible. This is a way to go, I think. Obviously, you know, I'm not a project manager, so take my advice with a grain of salt. Just kind of predicting here what it might be used for in the future, and let's see, it's thinking. Completed successfully. Let's go to, it's saying npm run dev. All right, let's run this baby. Woohoo! All right. All right, npm start. Let's go. Let's run it. Let's see it in action. Okay. All right, read mock data. Okay. Okay, so right now apparently it has, let's see, right now it has like a mock data in the browser. So I'm gonna open it up in my Chrome and see if it gives me something. Okay, nothing. But that's alright. This is to be expected on the first try. Let's ask it, how do you input the API key in the .env file?
code. I just want to see the templates. Because it's possible maybe I just put the API keys incorrectly. So they want it to look like OpenAI. Okay, yeah, I did put it wrong. So I'm gonna pause it real quick, and then I'm gonna copy and paste this in the EMD file, and then this will actually be, so replace basically this with your actual API keys. But then the front part will look like this. So basically, copy and paste this in the EMD file, and then just replace this part with your actual API keys. All right, so I'll BRB and let me do this. Behind the scenes, I have implemented this in the EMD file here. So we're going to tell Cursor that. We're going to be like, I have updated the .env file with my OpenAI key. Okay, let's see what it says. So you can see here that it has understood the task. Because like I say, Cursor is great at starting the project, you know, building all this from scratch super fast, it's great. But its weakness, like I said, is the getting the architecture nitty gritty. So I would actually be surprised if this actually started working. But you know what? Let me just let it do its magic. Maybe it actually works on the first try. However, if it still doesn't work, that's when we bring in the secret sauce. And what's my secret sauce? Well, let's just share it if this doesn't work. Keep you in a cliffhanger here. Because I'm actually curious, because this is the cool thing about AI. I swear, every week it just gets better. So I did this hackathon like what, 2 weeks ago now? So it was okay. We're gonna do npm start. Let's see if it works. Um, you know, OpenAI is just always updating its code base, so maybe it will work. Will I see something? Oh, wow. Okay. So, still nothing, which again, I'm not too surprised. Let me inspect the page. There's okay, something in the node, something's wrong with cloud upload, but we're vibe coding here. So F this. I'm sorry. We're going to forget about this. Pretend you didn't even see that, right? We're vibe coding here. We are going to now use the secret sauce. We're gonna we're gonna type here. Sorry, I can't even speak anymore. I'm just gonna type in Claude. And Claude Code is my secret sauce. Claude Code is my secret sauce because it can read the files a lot better than Cursor. That's what I've noticed. And okay, so just proceed. Auto. Hello, please. Okay, you know what? Please read my file files and create and understand my project. Then create an empty Claude file. So an empty Claude file is essentially a file that summarizes it, but the way Claude understands it the best. Really, so we're gonna create. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna even. I want to see if it understands what I'm building. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, cool. So it's a Claude.md. So I knew I misspelled it, but it still understood what I was trying to ask it. And that's what I just needed to understand. So it's analyzing all my files right now. And the reason I'm taking this method is because if you just ask it right off the bat what you want it to do without it analyzing the project files, it doesn't work as well. So first step is always creating that Claude MD file, or however it's called, Claude.md file. And it's always like the first step, so it kind of understands the playground, right? And then from here, then we'll start asking it questions. Build it, and okay, yes. I want to create claw.md file. Okay, awesome. Look, it understood. Comprehensive CloudMD file for AI slide generator. So it has a project architecture and tech stack file, key features. All right. The document provides a clear overview of a voice line application that uses OpenAI Whisper for transcription and GPT for generating professional presentations. And just to help it out, because I'm actually gonna give it a screenshot of this just to help it out a little bit. So for those that are new, I click inspect, and then this pops out, and then I'm gonna go to console, and now I'm gonna screenshot this. I'm gonna screenshot it, and then I'm gonna go to Claude. I'm gonna put it in here. I'm just gonna drag it in here, so that way it reads it. Now I'm gonna say, can you create a plan to fix this? And the reason I'm doing this is just in case it doesn't go haywire, because Claude is a little bit pricier. Let's see, can you create a plan to fix this? Do not code yet. Yeah, do not code yet. If you're like, I trust Claude with my being, go ahead, let it go all out, man. But I do notice that sometimes when you take it slow with Claude, it works better, but that's just me. Just plan. Okay. So right now it's just reading the screenshot from what I gave it. It's reading it. Listen, this it seems like a legit plan, so let's go with it. All right, I trust your judgment. Let's go with your plan. Okay. So you can see I'm gonna put the page like a little higher. Claude is doing all the magic here, man. Like I'm not, I'm just typing with natural language here with my normal, text, and I'm just letting it do its magic. Um, okay, let's see. Node e console, blah, sure. Yeah, man. Right now I'm in vibe coding mode, just letting AI take the wheel here. It's magic here, so we're gonna say yes, edit. So it's doing it's editing, right? Um, sure. Okay, so this is here where its to-do list is. So it seems like it's done quite a bit in order to fix our error. And if you are a developer and you're watching this, apologize for the cringiness of the vibe coding process, but listen, it's more just kind of like to get the job done, especially if you don't know how to start it. I think vibe coding is helpful just to get that push, that push to get things working. The momentum, it's great for the momentum. Obviously, I do admit I feel like knowing how to code is essential in case of if let's say Claude is doing something that is a big no-no, or would actually break it more than fixing it, then you would have an advantage. Apparently, I had an import error. It says try refreshing your browser at local 3000. You should now see the AX line generator interface with the hero section, upload area, and feature cards. Okay, let's go back. Close here. Now let's refresh this little baby. Oh, okay. Aha. See, the Claude with the cursor combo is very powerful. And you might be questioning me, like, why didn't you just start with Claude? The reason, there's two main reasons why I didn't start with Claude. It's very slow in the beginning, and it seems like with the the speed, for vibe coding, cursor has it, right? But obviously with the nitty gritty, like this part, Claude overtakes. So it's like this is the the mix of the both is it's powerful, right? So let's see. I'll upload file. Quick. It's more like 2 minutes, but you know what? Let's just test out if this works. So I'm gonna put the audio file in here. Um, and okay. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do inspect console. All right. going to screen shoot this. And we're going to give this to Claude. Alright. Okay, let's see. The front page looks great. It seems to have a processing issue. Can you check what it is? And I'm in the mood of just vibe coding like wild out, so I'm not gonna even let it pause. I'm just gonna let it do its thing, you know? Yes, we wanted to read the screen show. We wanted to work. Do its magic, please. Let's make it work. There's two things that I'm thinking of, and it's the fact that maybe something just, randomly broken in the back, or two, like I said, it was 2 minutes, not 3. Maybe it's very like, you know how machines are, they're like very specific because it was not 3 minutes, it was 2. Maybe that's why it's like angry at me. But maybe it's not. Thinking that the API key is that, which doesn't sound about right, but let's see. Okay, so yeah, it is set. All right, checking the backend server. Let's see. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think software engineer role is done because, listen, if if something serious were to happen because it has happened before, which is why I'm in Claude right now. But sometimes I switch back to Cursor and then let Cursor go for a ride because sometimes the AI just can't really figure it out on its own, and so then I go back and forth with Cursor and Claude, and eventually someone figures it out. It might take a while. Honestly, a real software engineer might be able to solve it faster. So it said that the server was unloading environments. Okay. Okay, so it should be working now. So let's see. It says drop your phone there. Oh wow! It actually did it faster. Oh wait, no. No wait, yeah. Yes, this is it. Okay, so in the beginning, the reason there was like a slight change was because it had the demo version, but what I was talking about in the audio was about joy. So this is the real one, not the work one. That's why it changed randomly because I think it had like the hard coded in about like the demo, which was about like working. But this is what my audio was about. It's about happiness and joy and puppies. I know how if you're not into puppies, listen, that's I love puppies. I love kittens too. I'm very much a nature person. Okay. So I'm actually very impressed because in the hackathon it actually took Claude a lot more time for it to figure out how to create this PowerPoint. Obviously, it's very simple. You know what I mean? But it did the task, right? Let's see. It has options of exporting as HTML or as PDF. Okay. I'm actually. Will it actually export PDF? I'm very curious. Okay. Nothing's happening. That's fine. I didn't. That would have been actually really crazy impressive. Oh my god. Wait, what? Okay, no, never mind. Oh my god, I did it. Holy molars. Um, y'all, it made a whole PDF file of my presentation. Okay. Wow. Okay, I'm impressed. Um, okay, I let's we know it works in local. Why don't we take it a notch and let's deploy it to Vercel. I want to see a fully functional version. Let's see. This is actually really wild. Okay, because when I did the hackathon, this part actually took me quite a bit to get it working, and the fact that wow, I'm really blown away right now. You don't understand the struggle I had in the in the buildathon. So I'm actually gonna let Claude take over again because I mean not Claude, a cursor take over again. Okay, I'm gonna put exit. So all that process that we just did, it cost me $3.31. Okay, let's go back to cursor and we're gonna say, hey, I want to deploy to this project to Vercel. How do we do this? And then it'll okay. So that's all. Okay, I got a call. I'm gonna stop this for a second. Run npm run. Sorry, npm run build. So what I like about this is that it's creating the setup for Vercel here, and it's it's doing kind of like the hard work, so I don't have to think about that. Because let's say we don't know how to code, but we want to put it into want to deploy this. So Vercel, Cursor will just do it for you. And Vercel seems to be straightforward, and these kind of like simple project is very good to just kind of like get it tested. And if this doesn't work, I might consider going back to Claude. I just, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is usually simple, so that's why I thought Cursor could do it, but it just depends on what you ask it to do. I'll let it work for a few more minutes, and if I notice it's having some difficulties, I will go back to Claude. Well, I hope you guys learned something new, and because this is a platform for not only learning but creating a community, I will be inserting the GitHub because open source I do think is very important, not only for learning but just kind of for sharing the knowledge. I think it's important for everyone to be involved in such new innovative technologies. So yeah, the GitHub, if you don't know what GitHub is, definitely check it out. If you guys have any suggestions of what you want to learn about AI, please put it down in the comments below, so that way I can get to it. And if you guys would like a newsletter with maybe more resources, the events, put down in comments where you're from, and maybe I can get something started. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video. By the way, Jackie out. Alright, bye.